I see what this is. I see what this is. I see what this is.
We're Carvana, the
Fine.
company who...
I will sing both halves of Baby It's Cold Outside because I don't want any of my online friends depressed.
I really can't stay.
But baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
Been hoping you'd drop in.
so very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like ice.
My mother will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your hurry?
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace raw.
So really I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't hurry.
But maybe just a half a drink more.
It's the anti-checker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulty.
Hey guys, Michael J. Crawford, the anti-checker. Oh, the anti-cam is all messed up. Let me turn that. There we go. There she is. If I can get it pointing at her. I don't know why the anti-cam wants to fight me today. And there we go. All right, so before I get to the chat, well, first of all, let me say, Mr. Miles first. Congratulations, Mr. Miles. Jacob was second, but said first. Miles says, damn straight. Are you saying you're damn straight Jacob was first? So you're reneging on your first? Okay. Thomas says, hi. Bird of Prey says, Kapla. Bradley says, yes. Hi, hope you're doing well, says Carlo. Turn on the mic, says Rock Solid. Thank you for that reminder. Commander Shran says, hello. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings, anti-tricker and fellow nerds. And Mr. Miles reminds us to have the live chat on. So I'm going to pause there for a minute and talk. I know I don't normally do this on my streams, but today I feel like it's necessary, before we get into the chat, to talk for just a minute about Rise of Skywalker. Look, I haven't seen it, obviously. I do know some of the rumored spoilers, but I take all of that with an extreme grain of salt. I didn't want to get involved in the rumored spoilers at all, but since I do guest host on Midnight's Edge, and that was a topic, I had to kind of read up on some of it.
Hello, world.
And Thomas puts a $1.99, says, we need a Bird version of The Night Before Christmas. That would be awesome. Bird, we're going to have to get you to record that. We'll have to change it around a little bit. But number 8, you got it. Hold on just a second. Oh, yeah. Yes. All right, so as far as the rumored spoilers and stuff, you can see all that on Doomcock, Midnight's Edge, and all that. I'm not going to get into all that here because that's not the point. I don't buy into that stuff in general. I take it all with a grain of salt. Maybe there are elements of it that are true. Maybe there are elements that aren't. But even if they're all true, the problem with a lot of those spoiler type talks is that something can sound absolutely stupid, and then you go and watch it and you're like, holy crap, this is awesome, right? So if I told you that, hey, I got this great idea for a movie about a deranged old lunatic who takes worms and shoves them into people's ears to control their brains and then get revenge on an old nemesis, you'd think that sounds stupid until you go see Star Trek 2, right? So it does sometimes not make sense when you read it, but when you see it, it could be freaking awesome. So I am not going to take any of that into account. There's 2 things I'm going to show you real quick. So the first is a couple of guys from Cinema Blend and their reaction after seeing the film. And let me go to the right screen here. And so these two guys are from Cinema Blend. They are just getting out of the film, and this is what one of them had to say.
I'm having a really hard time doing that. I really want to. I'm sad that the movie didn't work for me nearly as much as I wanted it to do. To me, The Force Awakens was a thrilling return to the roots of the franchise, and then The Last Jedi was a really brave exploration about what the themes of Star Wars can do. This was a reversion back to not even quite Force Awakens. It was just, here's everything we think that you want in Star Wars, served up on a spoon.
And it turns out that it's not what I really want from Star Wars, which is...
All right, so that's the first thing. The second one, and I know a couple people mentioned this in the chat already, is my old... I hate this guy, but John Campea, from his first reaction. Of course, John Campea, the shill of shills. Here he is at the official after party from the world premiere. Yeah, he's not a shill. And let's take a look at what he had to say during part of his initial reaction.
Stuff that's very different and very bold, and I applaud him for it. Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to really like this movie. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. I gotta say, I don't ever remember walking out of a Star Wars movie as disappointed as I was in this one. Again.
Now, so Cinema Blend and John Campea both hated this movie. Now, they're being as nice about it as they can because, of course, they're at official events from the world premiere. So they're not going to sit there and say it sucked, right? They're just going to say, well, I didn't enjoy it. I was disappointed. Because, you know, they're basically, if you are at this, and I'm sorry, no disrespect to the guys at Cinema Blend or John Campea, but if you're at the official Rise of Skywalker after party, you're a freaking shill, okay? You're on the Disney dime, so don't give me some crap about you're not really a shill if you're at their party. But the fact that John Campea and the Cinema Blend guys said something in common, and what has me optimistic. Both of them. And John Campea, not so much here, but in other stuff that I've seen him do. Both of them praised Rian Johnson and The Last Jedi for taking bold new moves with the Star Wars franchise. Both of them praised The Force Awakens as being this great new take on Star Wars. And they were disappointed in this. And in fact, I like the way that Cinema Blend put it, that it felt like a reversion. What does that mean? It felt like old school Star Wars, and they're disappointed by that. They're disappointed by the fact that it didn't feel like Rian Johnson Star Wars. Think about that for a minute. So, am I saying that the movie is going to be awesome? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'll see it on Thursday night, Friday morning. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but this has me at least thinking it's possible that J.J. Abrams pulled off a freaking miracle and made an awesome movie to try and wrap up this franchise. So that's all I got to say about it. Well, I'll get to the chat now, but I just wanted to make sure that I started off getting that off my chest because I do think that a lot of us, particularly those of us that call ourselves the Fandom Menace, have been very negative on the Rise of Skywalker. And so I want to give credit where credit is due. I think that this has the possibility of being a great Star Wars film. All right, so now to the chat. Jeff Franklin says, Rise of Skywalker not sucking. Yeah, that's what I said. Chrono says first. Bird of Prey says, Mama Prey asked who the voices were. Well, they were you, Bird. You know that. Just tell her that was you. You sang it. She was there when you sang it. Take off the Smurf costume. I'm not wearing the Smurf costume today. Jeff says, hello there, my friend. Hey, Jeff. Uncle Rand says, wow, John Campea says he didn't like Rise of Skywalker. The movie must really suck. Doomcock Leakers had everything correct. You see, I disagree with you on that, Uncle Ramus. If John Campea says it sucks because it's not like The Last Jedi, that's not necessarily saying that the movie sucked. And in fact, one thing that I find very interesting about some of these reactions, one thing you're seeing if you look at a lot of the reactions to Rise of Skywalker is people saying it's going to be divisive. These are the same people, the people that are saying that this movie is going to be divisive are the same people that were saying how awesome how awesome Last Jedi was and how toxic the people were for not liking it. They're saying it's going to be divisive because they don't like it. Let's see. John Campia didn't like it, and he likes everything. Yeah, but John Campia, I think, didn't like it because he was drinking the Kool-Aid of Kathleen Kennedy. Roxaw says, hashtag Doomcock was right. We'll see. Mr. Miles says, double Jaffa Cree. Roxaw says, same shirt as last night again? Yeah, actually, because I had to get up bright and early and go to the doctor, and I just got home. So I'm going to change after this. Thanks for pointing that out, Roxaw. I really appreciate that. And let's see. Vulcan says, greetings, Earthicans. How you doing, Vulcan Alpha? Triple Dog Cree on you, says Kronos. JS says, hello, the fall of Skywalker. Yosef put €2 in, says, no notification. Lore sent me here. He's nice. He is. Thank you, Lore. If any of Lore's other subscribers have come by, thank you all. I didn't know he was streaming, but yeah, that's nice of him to mention because sometimes the notifications don't work. Don't forget, by the way, not just for me, but for any YouTube channel you follow, be it me, Lore Reloaded, even John Campia. Make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure if you use the bell notifications that it's still on because YouTube has been purging a lot of accounts. And so a lot of people find themselves unsubscribed from people that they just assume they were, or even sometimes just the notification bell turned off when they thought it was on. And so let's see. Let's go back to, okay, Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. How you doing, Mike? Kronos says, Anti-Tracker, stupid is good. Well, when they say stupid, that probably does mean good. They think stupid meaning, oh, it's not, feminist. And Kronos says, dare to be, yes, dare to be stupid. Kim says, the worm thing happened in Star Wars Clone Wars 2. Well, I don't know. You see, here's the thing, Tim. I'm not taking any of the rumors and any of the quote-unquote leaks or I don't care about any of that. I really don't. Enter, it sucks. Face facts. Disney crapped out more garbage. George Lucas stayed home is very telling. Well, George Lucas honestly felt kind of butthurt over the fact that his trilogy didn't get made. And let me say this about George Lucas. I have nothing but respect for the man. He created Star Wars, and unlike Gene Roddenberry, he deserves full credit for creating the Star Wars universe. That being said, he sold it. All right? He literally sold out. He literally said, hey, you know what? I don't need Star Wars. Give me $4.5 billion, right? And now, granted, I'm not saying that I would not take $4.5 billion because, after all, that's $4.5 billion with a B dollars. And just need to make sure that wasn't okay. So George Lucas literally sold out. But when he was selling out, he said, oh, and I want you to make this trilogy that I outlined. And they were like, yeah, sure, George. Meanwhile, you know what? Here's the thing. You're selling Star Wars. Guess what you could have done? You could have put a writer into your contract saying you have to make these movies. They didn't do that. George knew full well he had no right. He literally has no right to complain. Oh, and thank you, Joe, for reminding me. Yes, Yosef did request number 17. Let me bring that up for you.
Hey, you want to learn about Jesus?
There's no such thing as hooker-client confidentiality.
And Thomas, just as that was finishing up, put in a couple bucks, says we got a ship quiz on our hands. I saw that come in the Discord. We'll bring that up in just a couple minutes, Thomas, and then I will do the ship quiz. Man, just phone is exploding, everything. What was that one? Oh, okay, that's Thomas sending me the... Wow, what is that from, Thomas? I see but I don't know what it's from. So if you could follow up with that. Anyway, so George Lucas sold the farm, and then he's complaining because they're not making the crops that he wanted them to make. It's not his choice anymore. He literally sold the farm. Oh, thank you. Yes, screen's blank. He literally sold out. And so, you know what? George, get over it. You sold it. You sold the franchise. So don't tell me about how horrible it is that they're not making it the way you want. If you want it made the way that you wanted it, you should not have sold it in the first place. Just saying. All right, so now let's take a look at what Thomas just sent. If I can get my computer to work properly. There it is. All right, so this is an interesting one. And still waiting to hear from Thomas as far as, because I'm not sure. I see the name of it, but I'm not even sure what it's from exactly. And so, man, that's a tough one. I don't know. Make sure you can't see what it is on the screen. No. All right, guys. So here's the deal. Going to show this ship, and then the first person to get the to name it in the chat gets a super chat. But I need to bring up a copy of the current chat. So people are already guessing because they're idiots. All right, here we went. Wrong one. Let's go. And there. All right, so let's see. Z-Wing, Tholian Shuttle, Gorn Mothership, wrong on all counts, Bird of Prey. Yosef says the Titanic. And come on, somebody's going to figure it out. Somebody's going to figure it out. Millennium Falcon says Bird of Prey. Does that look like the freaking Millennium Falcon to you? And so Kondo Shuttle. Cinnamon says Zindi, Jeep O Prey. The U.S. I don't give a TOS. Okay. United Earth Shuttle, 2 Orville ships humping, Deadless class. Boy, nobody's getting it right. I tell you, I got it listed right here. I don't know if you, depending on how you described it, you might have gotten the general right gist of it, because I'm still waiting to hear from Thomas as far as exactly what it's from, because I'm not 100% sure, but I know the specific type of ship it is, and so far no one has said it. Klingon dinner plate, I like that. Jabba the Hutt's personal space cruiser. Could be the greatest movie ever. I don't care. Burn Disney to the ground. Jeez, that's a little dark. Dagra's ship. And Thomas, are you there? It's from Enterprise. Okay. Let's see. So it's from the series Enterprise. Thomas says there's the hint. USS Ron Hubbard Travolta. I like that, Mike. The Bismarck. No, it's definitely not the Bismarck. It's an Enterprise-era Starfleet ship. Well, that's correct-ish. I assume it's Starfleet. But let's see. Warp 6. Wrong show. You need to fill in the blank. This ship is the blank type. What the hell is an aluminum falcon? Oh, yeah, from Robot Chicken. What the hell is an aluminum falcon? Let's see. Zindi aquatic ship. That's too vague. You can't say. You need to say the specific type of ship. That's at least what Thomas sent me. Unless Thomas makes a rule change, that's what I have to go by. USS Booty. Wow, that's that. If that looks like a butt to you, man, you need help. Let's see. Toilet seat cover from the Enterprise. What if you don't remember? Well, then look it up. I failed as a nerd. Yes. Colonization ship. That's too vague. I don't know if it is or not, but that's you got to give the specific class of ship. Named after a city in the Balkans, says Thomas. That should give it away. There we go. Josh nailed it. The Sarajevo class. That is 100% correct. So, Josh, you get to pick a super chat of your choice. So let me know what you want in the chat within the next few seconds here, Josh, and so that I can play that for you. So any day now, Josh. Any day. Come on. You can do it. I know there's a delay in the chat, so that's annoying, but, you know. Come on, Josh. Josh, waiting on you. Death of Disco. You got it, my friend. Everybody's favorite. I love that one. All right, so back to the chat we go now that I'm way the heck behind. Vulcan Alpha says, side note, yesterday's Board Queen video, good stuff, 2 ears up. Thank you so much. I don't want to give him a big head because he's already kind of got a big head. But yes, Mr. Miles really outdid himself with the editing on that video. It came out wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Miles, for all your hard work. And yes, now let's now stop patting yourself on the back and get to work. Rock says, I have wonder if they didn't like it because it course corrects from The Last Jedi, but knowing JJ lens flare, I'm guessing it's just bad, very bad. I don't know. I see, the thing is, Rock Solid, looking at the critical reactions, I have a feeling it might actually be good. So, Sci-Fi says, you never partied or benefited off the dime of someone you didn't like? Did I ever party or benefit off the dime of someone? I never partied with people I don't like. That would not be something I would do. But here's the thing, Sci-Fi, you don't just go to the official after party of the world premiere of a movie like The Rise of Skywalker. That's not something that you just go to, right? You have to be on a very, very specific list of people in order to get an invitation to said party. You don't get to go to something like that unless you are, in fact, a shill of some kind. Hey, Anti-Tracker says, Peter, hey, how you doing? Peter says, so JJ's Star Wars, well, I'm sure he'll make a fun movie at least. He always Ford. Okay. And there goes the chat. Says, I'm so far behind, it jumps every now and then, so bear with me. Wow, I'm so far behind. Okay, Bird says, Anti-Tracker's agreeing with me. I didn't watch your whole video this morning about that, so I don't know if you said that or not. Warp 4, oops, wrong show. Okay. Thomas says, you need to make Bird of Prey sound female in the female lyrics. Well, that's the best I could do with his voice. Krona says, I'm a glass, very broken type of person. Okay. There's Joseph's €2. Thank you again, Joseph. Krona says, what is a Weird Al? He is the best musical performer on the planet. Peter says, I saw a documentary on the Brits and Star Wars on BBC last night talking about Elstree. Elstree. Okay, and it was superb. Well, that's I've seen a couple of documentaries as far as, you know, the way Star Wars was made in Great Britain, of course, but we'll see. Was Kathleen Kennedy in charge? JJ lens flare, then it's going to suck, is all I'm going to say. Well, here's the thing. I am not going to judge it till I see it. I've always said that it looks like it's going to probably suck, but that I will wait until I see it for sure. And Mark is on Rock Solid side, put $2 in and says it's definitely going to suck. I think that's unfair to say. We don't know. It could be a good movie. You know, I know it's easy to attack JJ right now. It really is. But JJ Abrams, while I don't like his writing very much, he is a competent director. So we'll see. If you have a VPN, watch it. Not sure what... Oh, you're talking about the Star Wars thing. I do not... Well, I do have a VPN, but I don't have time right now. I says, people might like something different to me, and until I see and make up my mind, it doesn't matter. I'll still give everything a chance. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I mean, I know that, you know, I'm going to see it on Thursday night / Friday morning. I'm going to a very late show, and afterwards, I will put out my initial thoughts and then try to put together a decent review of it over the weekend. I know you don't keep up on the leaks, but I somewhat have. If the leaks are true, and they seem to be, then just because those people didn't like it isn't enough to convince me. Yeah, well, I've seen a bunch of the leaks that have to do with, you know, things that, you know, like Rey is really a Palpatine, that she has the ability to heal people with the Force, and people can, like, drain Force energy and kill. And it sounds weird and stuff, but like I said, on paper it might sound like kind of stupid, but on film it could be awesome. Rockstar says, minus 12 subs again yesterday on Trigger. Freaking YouTube. Oh, yeah, you know, it's funny because I was watching, because usually when we have a video that does well, we usually get a little bit of a bump in subs, and we have, but it was so funny because I'd watch it and it would go up 5, then down 3, and then up 5, and then down 4, and then up 5, and then down 3, and it was just, I'm getting really sick of the purge. I won't go into detail, but there were images from the actual movie which proves many of the leaks. Well, but again, Valor, even if 100% of the leaks are true, it doesn't change the fact that just because it doesn't work well on paper means it won't work well on film. And that's something people really, you know, you gotta take those leaks with a grain of salt. You absolutely have to. It could be good. I'm not saying it will be good. I'm just saying that it could be, and don't, I'm not going to judge it until I see it. Now, I will tell you, if I wasn't doing the YouTube channel, I would not go see it this weekend. I would wait until after I saw reviews from people I trust. Like, I'm not talking about John Campia or Cinema Blend. I would wait until someone that I actually know and trust sees it, and then decide whether or not I want to see it in theaters or wait till it comes out on home video. But I'm going to see it on Thursday night because I know you guys expect a reaction, so I'm going to give it to you. Notifications did not work for me, and I found out from Lore Reloaded as well. Well, thank you, Trek95, and again, thank you to Lore if he's still out there. I don't know, but thanks, Lore. Let's see. And let's see. Where were we? Sci-Fi Sith says, hello there. How you doing, my friend? Peter says, Discord message, Anti-Trigger, that documentary not on BBC. Oh, I'll check it out. Schromer says, greetings, Anti-Trigger and fellow nerds. How you doing, Schromer? That dumb phone is annoying. Yes, it can be sometimes when it explodes like that. And there is Thomas Potts's ship quiz. Thank you again, Thomas. That's a nice-looking ship, I got to say. I don't remember it from the show. It's weird, but it's nice looking. I wasn't talking about the rumors you mentioned in the Star Trek II mind control bug. I was just telling you that the cartoon Clone Wars had worms that went into the nose of clones they copied. Ah, gotcha. But yeah, but you see, the idea is that, like, if you take certain plot synopses and just describe what happens in a movie, it can sound really stupid, and then when you see the movie, you're like, holy crap, this is awesome, right? Hey, a computer programmer finds out that he's actually living his life in a jar of goo along with everybody else in the world because he's really a battery. And The Matrix is one of the most awesome movies ever, right? Only favor they did George Lucas was sparing him from having to see his creation molested one more time. Oh, you guys are so negative. I understand why there's a lot of negative feelings about it, but try not to judge until you see it, or at least until people see it. Look, on the first, if Doomcock, I'm assuming Doomcock's going to see it on Thursday. If Doomcock comes out and says, okay, guys, I was right, this is the worst movie ever. Absolutely. Rant all you want. But I think Doomcock has enough integrity to say, okay, it wasn't that bad, and so if he actually likes it. So we'll see. And there's a few people telling me that I forgot to turn the screen back on. Sorry about that. Any thoughts on George not being invited last night to the premiere? No. No thoughts whatsoever. George doesn't work for Lucasfilm. George doesn't own Lucasfilm. George is not associated with Disney in any way. Maybe, and we don't know. I'm sure there was a conversation between George and someone over at Disney prior to this. And I'm sure if George really wanted an invitation, he would have gotten one. Now, I know that people are like making these assumptions that George was snubbed or whatever. Unless somebody actually comes out and says, no, we don't want George Lucas here. He wanted to come, but no. I haven't heard anything like that. I think that I'm not going to make any assumptions one way or the other. George is not a part of the Disney machine, and so he wasn't invited to a Disney party. Chrono says, I thought you were a professional. A professional what? Darren says, George Lucas has enough money, he could probably make any movie he wants. He absolutely can. He has $4.5 billion. If he wanted to make his own version of Star Wars, he absolutely could. And there's Bird guessing on the ship. Yeager says, George Lucas regrets his choices now. Yet again, so do the fans who drove him off. Well, the funny thing is, yeah, the fans were kind of harsh with him when he made the prequels. I think, I thought the prequels were okay. They were nowhere near as good as the original trilogy. I always have a soft spot for episode 1 because I actually got to go to the world premiere there. And again, the reason that I got to go to that world premiere was because of my employer had a direct association with Lucasfilm. And so that, if you have to have some kind of connection to get to a world premiere. But I got to go to the world premiere of episode 1. That was a really special night for me and Mrs. Anti-Trekker. So even though I hated Jar Jar Binks and stuff, I will always have a soft spot for episode 1. And I probably would have said something similar to what John Campia said as far as a first reaction. Well, they tried a lot of stuff. They had some great moments, but there's some stuff that just didn't work for me. That's probably what I would have said at a spoiler-free reaction. Chrono says, congrats on 80 plus peeps. Yes, we're actually got 90 now. Incredible. So welcome, everybody. By the way, don't forget, if you are relatively new to my channel, if you want me to read what you put in the chat, please put @AntiTrekker. Yes, you need the little dash in there so that it highlights on my screen. Otherwise, I don't have time to read every single chat that comes up. Mr. Captain says, AntiTrekker, Jeep O Pray. Yes, Jeep O Pray. That's a statement, all right. Yosef says, I'm not an idiot, I'm a jerk. Very true. Schnepp Finjagger says, AMC Pacer. Oh, man. Tim Christ says, Jabba the Hutt's personal space cruiser. I like the AMC Pacer. That would have been a good joke there. Enterprise are a Starfleet ship. Warp 6, Swoop Strong Show. Okay, still guessing about the ship. Toilet seat cover, that colonization ship. Jeff leaving for work like a while ago. Sorry, I missed that, Jeff. Have a good one. Russian conclusion. I'm not sure what you mean there. A Schnepfenjagger. Tim says, I thought it was one of the 3 seashells. The lag is called time dilation. Yes, indeed. I'm moving at such an incredible rate of speed that time works differently for me. Dude, did you get the link on Discord? Yep, I can't go there right now, Peter. So I'll check it out after the stream. Did you like the Sarajevo? It seems rather defiant like to me. I'd have to look at it on the show to really get, I don't remember that ship. So I'd have to go back and rewatch whichever episode it appears in. Mr. Cat says, would you rather be driven around in Bird's Jeep with Lord driving and Bird acting as GPS, or sit in a room with Brie Larson lecturing you for 20 minutes? That, Mr. Captain, is a difficult one, because on the one hand, I know how Lord drives. And so I can say that my life would definitely be in danger having Lord driving me around in a Jeep. However, the sheer enjoyment of listening to Bird being the GPS as Laura's trying to drive might make it worth the risk. Now, with Bree, I wouldn't be in any physical danger, but my brain might melt. So I'm going to go with riding with Laura and Bird. You should check out Twitter reactions. There's a lot of shill there. Well, it's the problem is you have to sort through it all. Roxanne says, prepared to be disappointed. I'm not prepared for anything as far as I'm going to go into the movie with an open mind. It is the sequel to The Last Jedi. Hopefully it's good. Sarajevo's 200 meters, crew of 20, max warp is 3. So relatively small ship. But, where are the warp engines? No, you have to be on the list. I've been to a film premiere prior to... Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. And so you don't get on that list by not being a shill. Edger, it's interesting that the media hasn't picked up on George Lucas not attending the premiere from what I've seen anyway, because it's a non-story, Thundercats. Ho! Because here's the thing. George Lucas doesn't work for Lucasfilm. He doesn't own Lucasfilm. He has no direct association with Disney except for the fact that he, a few years ago, cashed an incredibly huge check from Disney. And so... here's the thing. It is no more a news item that George Lucas was not at the premiere than it is a news item that Elon Musk wasn't there. Okay, just because George is, here's the thing. If I, 6 months ago, I sold somebody, a car, right? And then that person fixes up the car and takes it to the races. And people say, why aren't you there? Because I sold that car. It's not my car anymore. I tried to keep my ego relative to your abilities. You are failing at that, Mr. Miles. And L Street Studios, that's what you... Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Kevin says, well, let's say for argument's sake, the leaks were true despite my skepticism. This may be the Into Darkness Star Wars in a sense. Kinda, yeah. When will you stream after watching the... the HOS, the House of Skywalker, Track 95. I don't know exactly, because here's the thing. For my time zone, I'm going to be getting out of the movie probably about 3 or 4 in the morning, because it starts at 1 a.m. It's a 2.5-hour movie. So probably 3 or 4, probably close to 4, assuming there's a few trailers before the film. So what I'll probably do is right when we get out of the movie, I'll probably have me and Mrs. Antrekker just sum up in a few sentences, couple-minute video. Hey guys, just saw the movie. Here's my initial thoughts. Is it any good? Yeah, you should check it out. Or is it any good? No, it sucked. Don't worry about it. You know, I'll say something to that effect. And then probably the next day on my live stream, we'll talk about it. I will not do any spoilers, especially the better I think the movie is, the more resistant to spoilers I will be. So if I think the movie is good, don't ask me for spoilers. You can get them from Doomcock or whoever. I'm not going to give them. If the movie really sucked, then yeah, I'll probably talk about spoilers. That's because Weird Al is the secret twin brother of Will Ferrell and the secret love child of Frank and Freddie. I did not know that. Mr. Captains, please give us an initial response coming out of the theater similar to what Campy did. That's exactly what I'm thinking of, except that, you know, you'll probably hear Mrs. Anti-Trigger's voice too, because I'm, you know, curious to see what she thinks. I mean, she is just like me, not looking forward to this. She hated the Last Jedi. I bet when you see the first time and come out of the theater, you're going to say it's a great movie, but after a while, you're going to say it's a train wreck. Interesting you should say that, Sci-Fi Sith Dan, because I never said The Last Jedi was great, but when I first saw it, I was like, it was okay. All right. So I would say this. I probably won't say, oh, this is the greatest movie ever if it's really a train wreck. I might say, it's all right. No, it's not bad. You know, but, and then my opinion might go down from there. But I'm not going to go from it's the best movie ever to it's a train wreck. I'm waiting for you, Al Smith, and Angry Joe to review it before I decide if it's worth the money. Yeah, exactly. So you find people you trust, Kevin, exactly, and then you decide whether or not it's worth it. Schwarber says, come on, fellow nerds. 81 watching, only 32 likes. Hit that like button if you're not already. Please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, all your Anti-Trigger uploads and live streams. Thank you, Schromer. That's very kind of you. Darren says, I find your abundance of faith disturbing. Yeah, I don't have faith. I'm not staking it on faith. I'm simply saying that based on, wow, somebody is spamming the chat for some reason. And so that's different. What the heck is that? Whoever this person, poopy, is spamming, please, moderators, if you will take care of that, I would appreciate that. Anyway, the whole thing, though, with this is that I don't have faith that the movie's going to be good. I'm just interested in the fact that that some of the shills out there are not liking it. So I do appreciate that. And by the way, thank you, Thomas and Rock Solid. Please, when people spam like that, yeah, just time them out, please, because I don't know why someone's doing that, just to be disruptive, I suppose, but I don't know why. There's no real point. If you have something to say, have the balls to say it. Don't just spam somebody's chat. A great way for people to get your notifications, sign up on the site and enable push and email notifications. That's very true. If you go to antitrekker.com, and thank you, Miles. I appreciate that too. Yeah, you can go to the website, and that way, if you don't get notifications from YouTube, then obviously you can get them that way. Doomcock and Nerdrotic are promoting Execute Order 1977. Man, somebody is really desperate to spam. I don't know why. I'd like to take a range of reviews from people I trust. Yourself, Foley, Doomcock, Nerdrotic. Thank you. And let's see. And by the way, let me see. Give me just a second. Mr. Miles, I'm going to be sending you a direct message in just a minute. Let's see. All right, so I assume you got that, Mr. Miles, and I'll let you move on with it. All right, $10 says you come out of the movie wearing We Love Ray shirt and JJ #1 foam finger. I'll take you up on that bet because I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. They should just rename Lucasfilm to something else at this point, Force Studios or something. Well, Lucasfilm is the name of the company. I mean, if they wanted to rename it, they could, but Lucasfilm is a brand name in and of itself. Professional what? That's what we want to know. Well, I'm wondering too. Leave it to Disney to make the prequels look amazing. With all the negativity for 9, I lose a little hope for Star Trek. You know, I'm still hoping the Picard is good. We'll see what happens. let's see. Trek95 says, I'm first to say I'm negative about the Rise of Skywalker, but if you honestly say you would buy people tickets if you had all the money in the world, I did not plan to see it. Well, I'll tell you, Trek95, I will let you know my honest thoughts of it Friday morning. That whole professional thing, sorry, no problem. I've been to a few world premieres, Main Trigger, but only once has it been for on the list for an after party. Yeah, I've never gotten to go to the after party. I actually don't think George was snubbed. If he were there, he probably would have taken a lot of the spotlight, so it's probably for the best, whether good or bad, he was not present. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to go, honestly. And there's all the... Sorry, the chat just kind of jumped on me because of all the stupid spamming. And yeah, unfortunately now I can't see the chat. I can't scroll back far enough because of these idiots spamming. So for just a minute, if you are a moderator, please do not hesitate. Whoever is doing this, we need to, what is your problem, poopy person? What is your problem? Why are you, if you don't have, yeah, he wants super chat number 8. You're probably right. Let's see. All right, user. And so, unfortunately, it takes a couple minutes because we gotta, I know that moderators are working on trying to get rid of these people, but it takes time because obviously whoever this is just desperate for attention and just wants to be disruptive, so I apologize for that. And let's see. And no, Greek Gatsby, I don't think that Lore Reloaded would do this. I do know Lore personally, and first of all, unlike this person, Lore Reloaded is, actually will stick up for his own beliefs and talk about what he has to say. Troller is Robert Iger. Just want to watch the world. This seems like, I don't understand it, but yeah. Turn on slow mode. Oh, yeah, good idea. If I go into... let's see. And the funny thing is, if it's somebody who is like one of these pro-Disney people that's doing it, then they obviously aren't listening to what I'm saying. And if it's somebody that's a fan of Menace, then they're not listening. Because, quite frankly, I've made it very clear as far as... Let's see, where is the slow mode? I gotta find it. Restore chat. I've never put the chat in slow mode, so pardon me, guys. And let's see. All right, I don't know. Let's see. Did you do that? Let's see. Well, it seems like. At least I'm getting more views. I guess that's technically true. So yeah, thanks for helping me out. Appreciate that, even though it's annoying. Where were we? Oh, there we go. All right, so I apologize if I missed your chat earlier, guys. So I will, but I'll move on from here. Chris says, "Hey, Land Trigger, listening to while driving, and what's Ryan Johnson doing in the chat?" Yeah, it must be Ryan Johnson. Well, I don't know. Maybe it must be it, because Ryan Johnson, I'm definitely not going to be defending in any way. Some people just want to see the world burn. Very true. Definitely just a chit lord wanting to screw up chat. I know, and people like that. I think about how pathetic a person like that must be, because quite frankly, if you have nothing better to do than crap like that, man, I feel sorry for you. Your life must really suck. At least you're getting more views. That's very true. Up to 95 now. Heck, 789 make 123 look good. I'll tell you, first of all, 1, 2, 3, I think Jar Jar Binks was a mistake, but I don't think the prequels were that bad. I think that they didn't age as well as the originals, though. That's the biggest problem with them. Because the visual effects look a little dated now. Somebody has too much toxicity on their hands. I guess so. Pardon my French, ain't trigger, but what an asshole. Yeah, I you know what? That's definitely, I can't disagree with you there. Goddamn Redneck wants to know if the 100 watching includes the 48 Russian bots. Well, they couldn't be Russian bots because I thought I was a Russian bot. Peter says, think it's sorted now. Yeah, I think so. Thank you to the moderators for helping me deal with that. So our first official cyber attack against the turds. So whoever that was, screw them. The analytics for your interaction will be through the roof. Yeah. I predict Rey gets stuck by the Force lightning and ends up like powder. It's the ghost of Epstein's past. Okay. Remember Khan? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ukrainian bots. Yes, Captain Redneck, there were Ukrainian bots. Nathan says, so you have faith in the heart and no one's going to bend or shake you. Yes. I don't know. I hope that the movie's good. I don't have faith that the movie's going to be awesome. I don't have faith that the movie's going to suck. I'm simply saying that I'm encouraged a little bit by the fact that some of these shills have basically been hating on it. That's a good sign to me. Remember Count by J.J. Abrams? Yes, I know. I'm not trying to say J.J. Abrams has a flawless record of movie making, Gene. I'm saying J.J. Abrams is a competent filmmaker. Look, Star Trek Into Darkness, love or hate the Khan thing. I think Star Trek Into Darkness would have been a lot better if they just left it at John Harrison and didn't do the Khan thing. But from a technical perspective, it was not a bad film. It's just that I think the Khan thing and then the magic blood thing was a stupid plot device. And Roxanne says, and coming from me, calling someone else an a-hole, that's pretty something. That really is, yeah, because you are a world-class a-hole. Darren says, might have to do nothing but private streams from now on. I hope not, because then I can't get your money. As a Russian bot myself, I can tell you it wasn't us. All right, thank you, Ryan. Well, I'm a Russian bot too, so Captain Redneck says, down me poo has meaning. I have more faith that Picard won't suck. Honestly, I don't know. I think that Picard, I'm really torn. I mean, it looks, artistically speaking, it looks nice, but I'm not convinced that the story's going to be any good. Welcome to the world of 10,000. I know, yeah, you know, you can't turn on the light without attracting some bugs, as an old saying, and it's quite true. Shore says, it was Yellow Cake Uranium orphans of Kuroga trying to avenge their fallen comrades killed in the Turtistani bombing in their orphanage. Oh, that must be it. Nathan says, even if shills were telling the truth, I would not trust them. After all, they are not butthurt that they got the same treatment that we did after Last Jedi. Yeah, that's the thing. If the shills are the ones hating on it, boy, things are going to turn around. The Phantom Menace, unfortunately, is going to probably be as toxic as they have been for the last couple of years. Wait, did you just call Abrams a competent movie maker? Are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding. If you look at some of his movies, he knows how to make movies. He's not a good writer. I'm not defending his writing at all. But as far as his ability to actually make a film, I think that he's got the skills. Captain Renner says, I really like The Force Awakens aside from Rey's miraculous god powders. Last Jedi was utter garbage. I'm looking forward to Rise of Skywalker, not excited. That's kind of where I'm at with it, Captain. I liked, in fact, I was talking to someone earlier today about this. I thought Force Awakens was good up to Rey suddenly having all the magic, right? And especially at the very end, Rey should not have beaten Kylo. But I liked the basic setup to The Force Awakens. I really liked Finn as a character. I thought he was the most interesting part of that movie. And I think he should have been the main hero character rather than Rey. Yeah, Last Jedi was utter crap, right? They not only was the movie bad for Star Wars lore as a whole, even what they set up that was good in The Force Awakens they crapped on, like Finn. So this one, I'm hoping that it's good. But I'd be lying if I said I was excited. Eggs Benedict Cumberbatch should have played Joaquin or another augment, but not Khan. Agreed. I think Joaquin would have been a good choice for him. I'm shilling all she's got, Captain. I don't think she can take anymore. Yes. Valor says, Lord might be a good guy, but he can be a real ass. He kind of crossed the line calling me CBS shill for liking the Oberth. He called you a CBS shill for liking the Oberth? That's, oh, lore. I got to talk to you about that one. Lore has a problem with the Oberth class ship for some reason. I don't know what his deal is. Mike Richards says, we apologize for the spam. Our saucer malfunctioned. Oh, it was you. Okay. That was a super poo on roids. Roxanne says, Andrew, you can still get donations from private streams via Streamlabs and PayPal. No issue there. There, I got you back. I appreciate it, Rock Solid. Oh, man. That spammer means you're a real YouTuber now. Congrats. I tell you, it must be. But man, we got 106 people watching, so thank you for those of you that put up with the stupid spammers earlier. And let's see. A poll is going on for Wonder Woman versus Ghostbusters Afterlife, says Streamlabs. Wow, I need to fix that. Roxanne, because that poll was a while ago. Andrew, glad to know I'll never have to worry about this if it only affects those at 10,000 plus. Oh, you'll have to, Roxanne. Trust me, you will. No new Starfleet ships in the Picard trailer is a bad sign in my view. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It doesn't feel like Trek without Federation starships. Chrono says, wow, 100 watchers. Yes, very cool. Lens flares. Look, here's the thing. Yeah, JJ way overdid it with the lens flares in the first Star Trek film in particular, but you know what? Now every time there's a lens flare, people think, oh my God, lens flare. But you know what? There are lens flares in almost all movies. Abrams is an okay director, but Star Wars deserves a phenomenal one. Well, George Lucas directed 4 of the prior Star Wars movies, and he is not a good director. I love George Lucas. He is not a good director. I thought Finn was meant to be a Force user. I was kind of thinking that too, especially in The Force Awakens. And then they did the old bait and switch and gave it to Rey. But I really think it would have been more interesting if Finn was the main character of this trilogy. Heads up, I think DJ is streaming tonight if you feel like listening in. Oh, very cool. If I am free, I will. Thundercats said, I agree in regards to Lucas that the media hadn't always mentioned his attendance as always of suggesting he's supporting Disney Star Wars. In regards to the media, I respectfully disagree. Well, you can be respectfully disagreeing all you want. Anti-Trigger, Jar Jar Abrams is terrible. I never seen a movie he's liked, hated Super 8, didn't care for The Force Awakens. He can take his whole mystery box and stick it. Well, Roxal, you also think the original series of Star Trek sucks, so what do you know? King of the Cosmos is here. I love King of the Cosmos. Oh, man, I love me some Katamari. Anti-Trigger, what do you think about Babylon 5? I think Babylon 5... it's kind of interesting. Babylon 5 is a prime example of a story-driven show. The characters are kind of flat, and the plot is but the story is very, very compelling through the whole thing. And so the problem with Babylon 5 is it has not aged well, right? If you look at it now, the sets are laughable, and the bad CG is bad CG. But Babylon 5, I would love to see them do a complete overhaul of. I could see, I mean, man, talk about a show that could benefit from a special edition re-release on Blu-ray or something. I would definitely like to see all those ships and stuff redone with modern effects. By the end of Inner Darkness, starships were obsolete and science had been beaten to death. Where do they go from there? Oh, well, yeah, beyond. Yeah, well, yeah. They fly now. Yeah. Oh, man, that does look horrible. The Force Awakens started dying with the Jedi mind trick scene. The Last Jedi could have explained it. We got rained. Yeah, you're right, Captain Redneck. I think that the mind trick scene was really the breaking point. It's like, oh, wait, now she can do everything? Come on. Gene said, J.J. Abrams was competent. Really lost flexibility when he was a competent director. Star Trek Discovery, Bad Robot is his work. Well, first of all, don't confuse everything Bad Robot does with JJ directly. I mean, it's not like JJ himself wrote and directed Star Trek Discovery. And I'm not defending Star Trek Discovery in any way. I'm saying that if I was looking for a director, not a writer, right? And that's the thing. You're also confusing writing and directing. Especially, and so I'm not saying that I would hire JJ Abrams as a writer, but if I had a script and I needed a competent visual director, I think that JJ would be a good choice. That being said, would he be my first choice? No. Darren says, Laura needs to understand that not all Starfleet ships can look cool. It's kind of like how pretty girls in high school hung out with homely ones to enhance their own beauty. I don't even think the Oberth is an ugly ship. I think Laura doesn't like it because it's not a kick-ass ship, right? Not every Federation starship needs to be the frickin' flagship. And that's something that I think is a problem in Star Trek in general. We're always trying to make ships bigger and badder and more powerful and, no. Some ships should not, not every ship should be able to destroy the Death Star. Jay says, hey, Trigger, can it be possible that traditional Star Trek and STD type of Trek at the same time, maybe a title sequence they could do for each episode be a different color of what type Star Trek episode story? That'd be interesting. Honestly, for me, if Rey were not so overpowered, I would really like her character. She's not a bad character, just written to be too powerful. Agreed. I actually kind of liked her in The Force Awakens until she started being able to do everything. Track 95 says several of us are working on it with a spanner. I know, and thank you all, all the moderators that took care of the spammers. That's one of the reasons, by the way. I know some people say, Andrew, you got way too many moderators. Well, if I only had a couple of moderators, that spammer would have shut down this stream. So thank you to all of you that helped. Wow, shame on you all. Double dump. That's all. I thought it was suspicious that the minority characters are all sent on crap side quests while the white ones and the interesting alien designs are in the main quest. Well, if you're talking about, Tico and Finn, I just didn't like the fact that they sidetracked Finn. Tico, I think, was a waste. It's like we didn't need her. We needed was to develop Finn. The Canto Bite sequence was a complete waste of time in that movie, but there's a lot of that movie that's a waste of time. Mr. Captain says, if John Campea and other critics came out of the movie saying it was the greatest ever, how would feel? If John Campea were saying it was awesome, I would probably think, oh crap, it's going to be another Last Jedi. Chrono says, I would love to be a fork user. Oh wait, I'm fat. Yes, I am definitely a fork user. John Ford says, I'm more interested in where the Mandalorian is going than the Rise of Skywalker. Oh yeah, Mandalorian has been pretty good. So I actually, the Mandalorian is the, up until I see Rise of Skywalker, I will say that the Mandalorian is the only good current Star Wars. Hopefully after Thursday night, I'll be able to say there are two things, but I don't know. Roxana says, TOS TV was terrible. The movie saved the cast. You're wrong, but whatever. Roxana says, Anti-Trekker says Babylon 5 hasn't aged well. You know what else hasn't aged well? Anti-Trekker. Bazinga. Wow. 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 Babylon 5 and Sequest need an update like that. Yes. I think Babylon 5 could definitely benefit the most. I think that Laura was bullied and beaten as a kid and teen by the Oberth and edX with the amount of hate and venomous crap he spews about them. I don't know what his... I would love to get onto I have to talk to Laura about this, maybe doing a debate sometime about the benefits of having the Oberth in the fleet. Roxanne says, you want proof the TOS movies were better than the TV? They made another movie after 5. They canceled the TV show after 3 regular seasons. Boom, mic drop. Okay. That first of all, that means nothing. So congratulations. It takes more than one person to make a film, and you have to please the person with the wallet. That's true. But the director is the person most responsible for the production of a film as far as the final product. That's why the director tends to get the most credit and most of the blame. However, you do, depending on the situation, sometimes the director is brought in and it's like, here is the script you will use. Oh, you don't want to use this script? Goodbye. We'll find someone else, right? And, that's, if you are an up-and-coming director, you want to establish yourself, you have to accept that. You might have to make a movie with a script you don't like. But when you see a movie written and directed by Rian Johnson, then, if you can blame Rian Johnson. Says, I heard J.J. Abrams learned how to write by studying the works of Herman Schmeckelbeck. Must be a room. Now, I think that's Rian Johnson. I don't think J.J. Abrams is quite Herman Schmeckelbeck level writing, but Rian Johnson is. I really have to agree. I'm one of the biggest fans of Babylon 5. The sets and the CG are not great. The garden furniture showed the budget, but the story was amazing. Ditto some characters. Yeah. So yeah, that is a show that I would love to see a remaster. JJ doesn't impress me on any level. I don't like his directional and cinematographical choices, especially when it comes to Star Trek. I disagree. For example, in Star Trek 2009, the shot of Kirk watching the Enterprise under construction. Love that. It's a beautifully done shot. Now, does it make a whole lot of sense when you know the lore of the Enterprise construction? No. The Enterprise was not built in Iowa. But at the same time, it was a beautiful shot. Let's see. And this is... Darren says, dollars to pesos, says a certain insect monarch behind the spammers. I doubt it. You know what? That person, I haven't heard from in, a year now? I mean, I know that he's the most intelligent person on the planet and that he's a giant and everything, but I honestly I doubt that. I mean, would he be holding a grudge this long? If so, man, he needs to just, maybe marry that doll he's been living with. You have spammers attacking now. You know you made it big time. Well, I'm not quite big time, but I'm excited. That's definitely a good sign. I thought that having Rey being able to fly the Falcon, even though neither her nor Finn had any experience flying anything, was the first misstep. Yes. I think, well, here's the thing. I kind of liked the fact that when they first took off, they could barely pilot the ship and it was like dragging on the ground. I thought that was kind of funny. But then to have her out-pilot the TIE fighters was stupid. What they should have done, honestly, was to have the Falcon constantly wobbling and she's struggling to keep the controls, and have Finn be the badass on the guns taking out the TIE fighters. Because Finn is a trained soldier, and while he wasn't an expert with using a turret, he learned in the TIE fighter that he had a knack for it. So I think that would have made sense. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Let's see, where were we? Oh, there we go. Darth Maul says, how do we know that the shills are telling the truth? The whole point of shills to do the bidding of the Sith Lords. Right, and that's the thing. So if they're saying, it wasn't that great, that what they're trying to say is they want to say, oh, this sucked, but they can't. But I think that it's because they're torn. Here's the problem with being a shill. Is that on the John Campea and other shills, they have several people they have to appease, right? They have their corporate overlords like Disney and stuff, right? But they also have their audience that they have to cater to, right? And this is a problem for some of the fandom menace too. Don't get me wrong; it's not just a shill thing, on the side of the shills. Some of the fandom menace have the same problem. If your audience, like for example, if my audience expects me to do nothing but hate on Star Wars, because that's all I do on my channel is hate on Star Wars, then if I see a Star Wars movie that's freaking awesome, what do I say? Because if I say it's awesome, then everybody's going to abandon me, right? And so same thing. They are so used to defending the political agenda. Right? They have to defend the political agenda. They have to promote, oh, you're a sexist if you didn't like Ghostbusters 2016. Oh, you're a racist if you don't like Star Trek Discovery. Oh, you're a sexist if you didn't like The Last Jedi, right? So then you get a Star Wars movie that doesn't have any of the political agenda in it. What do? On the one hand, you're supposed to say the movie's not bad because you're a shill. On the other hand, it doesn't have the political agenda, so you're supposed to attack it. And so you end up with these kind of John Campea type reactions. Oh yeah, a lot of people are going to love this film, but I was disappointed, So he's trying to play it both ways, and that is a good sign. Darren says, I agree that the O-berth is too small to make the design make sense, though, but once you've said that, there's no reason to pontificate further, unlike Lore's antics. Well, that's Lore's style. Rock Solid needs banned and incarcerated. Yeah, I'm thinking about banning him. Luke Fovark is in the house. Hello, Michael. How are things? I see a red alert. What are we talking about? Regarding O-berth, I say that it was common practice to arm merchant ships and send them to support our efforts. I know that's horrible of me, Luke, but welcome, my friend. We were talking about a bunch of stuff, mainly that I'm hopeful about the Rise of Skywalker because many of the shills do not like it. And yes, red turd today. That is what it is. Just please have a debate on your channel, as all of the messages I ever send on chat are deleted right after they're posted. I don't know what we'll do. I'm going to have to talk to Lore and see if he wants to debate about something. Because the problem is, I know Lore likes to be non-confrontational, right? And he doesn't like when we've debated in the past, he sometimes gets mad at me because you guys know, when I get into an argument with someone, I don't hold back. And sometimes people take it as me being a complete jerk, and I don't, and so it'll be up to Lore if he wants to do it. Sanity Jugger, have you ever seen Herman Schmeckelbeck and J.J. Abrams in the same room together? No, but you've also never seen Herman Schmeckelbeck in the same room with Rian Johnson. Science ships would not be so different. Oh, I agree, Luke. I think that the O-berth class is a perfect example of a pure science vessel. It has minimal weaponry for defensive purposes, but it's not meant to be a combat ship. And so that's the thing about the O-berth. And I think that some people that don't like it because it's not a badass ship with 17 torpedo bays and stuff, well, then, yeah, that's whatever. Finally finished watching The Prisoner, and all you can say is, what the F? Yeah, The Prisoner is a great show, but yeah, the ending? Yeah. Could Mark Hamill have been sued if he put his foot down and refused to play Rian Johnson's Luke? Yes. because Mark Hamill was contractually obligated to do the film. So yes, he would have been in violation of contract, and yes, they could have taken him to court. Ryan says, whoa, and there goes the chat jumping on me like usual. Even a good script can be botched in editing, pacing, and delivery. I guess we're lucky anytime a good storytelling makes it to the screen. It's actually, it's a very difficult process. And in fact, if you really want to see a great example of that, watch the documentary about how the edit saved Star Wars. That's a great movie on that very topic. Finn is a janitor. He's trained in using a mop only. Well, actually, he was a stormtrooper. The reason he was in, and I understand it was like originally in the story, but they cut it. But originally he was in the sanitation department because he just wasn't a particularly aggressive stormtrooper. And the ship being built on Earth, and it's big, ugly, and that ugly ship should have been crushed itself under its own weight. Wait, the ship was hollow. Never mind. Okay. Well, you could argue about as far as the ship not being crushed under its own weight, you can say, well, force fields and other futuristic technology, ultralight, super strong metals that we don't have today, crap like that, right? But when the so I don't have a problem with the Enterprise being built on the ground, but I mean, lore already had it established that the Enterprise was built in San Francisco shipyards, and they built it in Iowa. And so I had a problem with that. Now, I understand it's an alternate reality and all that, but still, come on, just respect the lore. But they were trying to resolve the fact that Kirk lived in Iowa, which was established lore, and the Enterprise was built in San Francisco, and they wanted to have Kirk there for the Enterprise being built. I get that, but what they should have done is then when they fast-forwarded him from being a kid to being an adult, have him move to San Francisco to get away from his stepfather. I'm just glad the Antrick is watching the Clone Wars animated series. Well, I'm glad you're glad, but I'm still mad at you. And Trigger, if this stream was sort of a shill drinking game, I would have been nuked inside of 10 minutes. Yes, we've said the word shill a lot. If you have a super chat that shows what would happen if you like Star Wars and Discovery, wow, I have to do something like that. Or the shills are saying they dislike it to try and trick the Phantom Menace into watching it. That could be too, but that's why, but the thing is that the Phantom Menace, the quote-unquote leadership of the Phantom Menace, people like, Doomcock, Nerdrotic, myself, even though I don't really consider myself a leader, I'm a small potatoes, but those of us that are actual content creators are putting stuff out there, then, they are basically that we're going to put out our opinion on Friday, and I think that a lot of people are, a lot of people are going to have to deal with it. And I see our spammer is back. Let me see. I don't know. Oh, yeah, because it was timed out already, so I can't really do anything with that one yet. If that person comes back, I'll try to catch it. But I've been a few of the people that were spamming before I permabanned that username. I'm surprised that they were able to even create that one. Anyway, but that's on YouTube. The Oberth was probably made in France, or worse, Quebec. Red turd today, things aren't okay. Red turd at night, and trigger delight, or something. That does not make any sense whatsoever. And unfortunately, now there's, okay, there we go. I can actually catch up. Luke says, Star Wars 9 airs tomorrow here. I'm going to wait in early reactions, watch them, and think twice about seeing it or forgetting it. Yeah, like I said, you find someone you trust that does content creation or criticism, and then make your decision. Hey, Edgar and all, tired of seeing that red turd. I tell you, you and me both. And let's see, what is up with this person? Let me see. Hold on just a minute. Go onto their channel. And let's see. Report user. Harassment. Report. And let's see. And claim video comments. All right, so I have that person's channel up. I'm reporting them to YouTube so that they'll, because it looks like what this person is doing is just constantly changing their username, and yeah. But they actually have a channel set up, interestingly enough. And let's see. Hate speech. And all right. So now, hopefully that will be the end of that person. All right. So sorry if I miss your comment. It's just because of the idiot troller. The Oberth is perfect for science well within the Federation borders. I agree. And yes, Kronos, it's probably the same person, but, you know, I guess it must be difficult to not have a penis, I guess. That's... Because says they have so much potential to make Finn interesting. Instead, they seem some modern stand-in to C-3PO and BB-8s. Yeah, that's the thing. Finn in The Force Awakens was like, oh, this is a cool character. And then Last Jedi, they crapped all over him. So, yeah. Roxo says, tell the mods not time this a-hole out, have them hide user from chat. I don't know if the mods... If you can, yeah, guys, if you see this spammer come up, don't time them out. If you have the option, you want to hide user from channel. That bans them permanently. And so if you can, if you're a mod, hide user from channel if these idiots come back. The Oberth haters make fun of how easy it is to blow it up. A Klingon bird of prey blew the Oberth. Yeah, but here's the thing. The Oberth is not a combat vessel. That's what they don't understand. That would be like saying, oh man, you know, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is a horrible vehicle because a tank can blow it up. Raise the shills! Reloaded. Yes, the shields. Always liked the small, sleek design of the Oberth. That ship plan book site I tweeted you had some great combat variants of the Oberth that are non-canon. I like the Oberth design generally. The only thing I don't like is that there's no direct connection between the primary and secondary hull. That doesn't make any sense. When I saw the Prisoner finale, I was like, how long has J.J. Abrams been in show business? You can ban words from the chat in the background of YouTube. Yeah, you can, but the problem is that that's not a word, and that person's username is what that was. And I can't ban a username. I can ban a user, but I can't ban any user that has this in their name. Not that I know of. If you can do that, tell me how. You don't need to already have one redneck super chat showing what would happen if you like Star Trek Discovery. Either ban them or offer them a hug. Either way, you should stop the spamming. I don't know if I'd want to hug someone that calls himself that. I know I'm a jerk and all, but even I wouldn't do this. I know you're not that bad. I reported all of them buggers for spam. Thank you, Peter. I've reported a couple of them as well, but also for like that last one for hate speech, actually, because YouTube is big on that. One had a channel, the other did not. Yeah, the one I did have a channel. One of Laura's arguments is because we keep seeing the Oberth in combat against enemies like the Borg. Well, and that just shows the desperation of Starfleet, though. Like, here's the thing. When the Borg show up in Sector 001, which I'm going to be doing a breakdown, that's going to take forever to do that breakdown because there's so many ships involved. But the Oberth, I don't believe, is there because they're like, quick, get the Oberth division in here. I think it's because they said, any ship that has phasers and or torpedoes, get your ass to Sector 001. There's a freaking Borg cube, you know. And so I think that every ship that was available was called. And Chrono says, mic drop? Okay, not sure why. And let's see, there goes the stupid spammer again. All right, Roxaw says, yes, we are mods. Yes, we as mods can hide user from channel. Okay, so if you can, then this idiot that keeps that keeps spamming, please hide user from channel. Do not time them out. Timeout is for if somebody says something inappropriate, right? But this poopy person, hide user from channel. And that way they cannot come back with that channel after 300 seconds. Frackoff Felter Carb says, Kelly Marie Tran looked very nice at the premiere. Ryan Johnson put Rose Tico in a potato sack and nothing else to say. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's, yeah. Chrono says, thanks for the info. Yes, absolutely. Finn was definitely not the only casualty of The Last Jedi. The whole cast was. Well, that's true. Finn, I think, was the most egregious because they did such a good job in setting up the character. And so that's the problem. All right, so yeah, Darren was pointing out, so it sounds like, well, let's see. I need a volunteer from the mods to be the person to basically hide this idiot. So let's see, who is it? Stromer? I'm not, because here's the problem. It looks like this person has they keep creating a bunch of different channels at the same time, but yeah. So Stromer is, you've been on top of it. So Stromer, do me a favor. You keep hiding them for now. If you can't keep doing it, let me know. And the next person, please to respond to Stromer and take over the duty until we get this person taken care of. Stromer says, I've not been telling you, I've been hiding those already, not done by other mods. Thank you. And let's see. Roxanne says you can have certain words held for. Yes, but the problem is that, like, for example, this person is just putting like numbers and stuff in. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? Ban all numbers? I don't know what this person's problem is. They're obviously, suffering from something. But yeah. Vertebrae can destroy an Oberth just like an attack sub can destroy a yacht. It's not an issue. I agree. And careful. So Stromer, please, if you can, just everybody else that's a mod right now, let Stromer do it for right now, and so that we don't accidentally hide and unhide the same person. Because what happens is if two people select hide at the same time, one hides and the other unhides. I'll say Disney and CBS Viacom are listening to us. I don't think that we get Picard or Mandalorian if they weren't. I tend to agree. As far as Mandalorian, I think that is a sign that Disney is listening. As far as Picard, we got to wait until we see it. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. A bird of prey can destroy. See, I already read that. Stupid spammer messing up the chat, making it difficult here. So let's see. I'm down at the bottom of the chat. I'm sorry if I missed it because of our resident moron. Just think about the activity boosts and analytics. Well, that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Let's see. Yeah, I know, and thanks for telling me about that, Thomas. I'm gonna, I know that you can ban certain words and stuff, but and I'm trying to figure out what the best way to do it, because the problem is like I said, this person is not using words, right? So like they have one of their chats is just the number 1, another one is just a dash, the number 1 is the letter A. Crap like that. And so what they're doing, and they do that on purpose, of course. Now I know that that you can set in the live stream options the slow chat option, and that's what I was looking for. I don't know, I've never actually set up the slow chat because I've never had a need for it. Let me go back to the dashboard and see if I can. I don't think I can set the slow chat while the stream is active. That's the problem. Let me go to advanced settings and see. Main videos, prime promotion, chat, enable slow mode. There we go. So we'll see if it works. So I see we got demonetized. That's always lovely. All right, so slow mode is on. So there we go. So good luck with that. Sub to Ganvel on YouTube, streaming live now. Because now, let me see here. And let me go to flag. There. All right. The Yahoo chatbots have finally migrated over. Apparently, yes. So whoever this sub to Ganval on YouTube streaming live now, you are an idiot. I tell you, if there is, I don't know if there is a person named Ganval. If there is, I feel sorry for them. Yeah, there is actually. So let's see. And so we'll have to see if this person is behind. I'm going to have to report that person. Because they actually have about 3,000 subs. Can mods still chat every 60 seconds? I don't know. Try it out. So the slow chat is on now. I'll see what works. I wouldn't be surprised if Spammer's a 10-year-old brat who isn't loved by his mommy and daddy left because he couldn't stand Spammers. At lunch yesterday, some teen yelled out penis. He thought it was hilarious, but all his friends were embarrassed to be associated with him. The guy makes me think of that kid. That kind of... and let's see. Poop, you are messing with the wrong nerds. They are IT techs. All spam channels have similar subs. Must be the same person. I'm guessing. Yes. You know, and the sad thing about it, and this is the thing, I don't care if this person is a Phantom Menace supporter or this person is a shill for Star Wars. It doesn't matter. That type of mentality is exactly what's wrong with the internet. I mean, that's... So, yeah, Bird tried slow-mo, but we all had wrenches. Yeah, that's... If you have a wrench, I think slow-mo shouldn't affect. But we'll find out shortly. And so, now there's that wonderful username. Let me see. Go to channel... Yeah, it's funny because this person is like subscribed to this to the same people on all these different channels. You know what it probably is someone that yeah, and they're already blocked. YouTube should have better tools to deal with this. They really should. In fact, the thing is, like, you put in a username like that, right? Like using the N-word 7 times as your username. Now, that tells you something right there. A, the person is probably a racist. B, the person is just trying to get people to be shocked, right? That, oh, look, I can put dirty words in the chat. Excuse me, in the chat. That makes me, you know, whatever. And that the person doesn't care about being inflammatory or being offensive. But I and thank you all. By the way, all of you that are reporting these channels, thank you. I've reported a few of them as well, because people like this should be reported. That's the reason that YouTube has their rules, not for people discussing issues of the day, but for people that are actually trying to be disruptive for whatever reason. And that's my point, Sci-Fi. Yeah, how does YouTube, with all their filters and all their algorithms and all that crap, how is it that someone is able to create a username with the N-word 7 times? How is that a username on YouTube? Google, how is it that your algorithm has demonetized this live stream because of people using foul language in the chat, but you allowed someone to create a username of the N-word 7 times? What is wrong with you, Google? I genuinely don't understand that. It just blows my mind that Google appears to be so incompetent that they'll demonetize a channel because someone puts the N-word in the chat, but you can create a username that is the N-word, and that's perfectly okay. I think they're just trying to crash the chat because they're jealous that you're far better than they are. Well, if I'm far better than them, then man, they must be bad. Just block numbers from 0 through 9. Are you saying you just blocked the numbers 0 through 9? Again, I'm a jerk. I hate TOS, Coffee, and Zelda beneath Breath of the Wild, and I'm not even that much of a jerk. You are that much of a jerk. Just for first of all, if you don't like TOS, that makes you a freaking jerk, right? I don't care if you like coffee or not. But yeah. Up next, VPN blockers. Yeah, must be John Campia. That's what it is. It's John frickin' Campia. Google does not understand. Google doesn't get it. A username was demonetized. It was what demonetized. Oh, I'm sure it is. And that's why I find it offensive, is that, first of all, now granted, I don't make money off the live streams, right? I mean, let's be real. The way that me and Mr. Miles make money is off of the produced videos that we put out. The super chats are a nice bonus when people are able and willing to give. But I don't generally make money off the live stream. So demonetizing a live stream doesn't really do a ton to me. Oh no, I lost 32 cents, right? But it's the very idea, the principle of the idea that that YouTube punishes me because some idiot creates a username with foul language in it. That doesn't make any freaking sense. So, and I apologize for the disruption to the chat that person caused. Eric says, I'm not going to see The Rise of Skywalker on principle. Sorry you're feeling bad today, my friend. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Eric. Well, like I said, wait, here's the thing. If you don't want to see it because you got burned on The Last Jedi, I totally understand. However, that being said, I don't think that that means, if the movie is good, the movie is good. And let's see. Yep. Good. So show that person's blocked. I appreciate it. Yeah. How's this person creating these usernames? That makes no sense. And so let's see. Andrew Jagger doesn't make a lot of money in live streams unless you send a super chat and say number 23. Well, honestly, that's the thing. Like I said, that's how the as far as money is concerned, yes, the super chats are very helpful. And speaking of which, and I'm not trying to thank you, Luke, for the €2. Says remonetization by the power of the Imperial Euros. Thank you, Luke. I do appreciate it. I'm not saying, hey, everybody super chat to make up for this jerk, right? That's not what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. Because I don't want people to give unless they want to and unless they can afford to. But thank you, Luke. And number 16 is what Luke wants because he wants everybody to suffer through
heart attack. Well, that was easier than I expected. This is going to be a great day. And now, off to my first day of work on Endor.
Fun fact, that is a deleted scene from Rise of Skywalker. There was originally going to be time travel in it, and that was going to be a big scene, but they cut it. But thank you, Luke. I truly do appreciate it. You helped brighten my day because I was getting a little surly about that spammer. Carlos says, I think they can make a name if based in another. I think they can make the name if based in another country. That could be like they could be using a VPN. Like if they're in the U.S., they could be using a VPN to fool it into thinking that they're in another country. But that's still, I mean, like I said, that's just stupid. Why is this person going through so much trouble? Because it's not like, here's the thing. Is this person actually accomplishing anything? No. We have 100 people watching the live stream, right? Heck, Luke just gave me €2, and so that person, by disrupting everything, has made me a couple of bucks. So thank you, I guess. Antrigger is not saying it though, right? I'm not saying, but that's the funny thing about it, Rock Solid. And this is one of the problems with the YouTube system. I'm very careful about the language I use overall, right? You don't hear me cuss on the channel, and it's not because I'm a prude and I can't stand the sound of dirty words. It's because I want my channel to be basically PG. However, if somebody else puts foul language in the chat, I'm held responsible for that, even though I have no control over it. But yeah. Sci-Fi says, I remonetized for another month last night. Thank you, Sci-Fi. I do appreciate it. Whatever happened to Captain George? I'm not sure. Captain George has been kind of in and out, so I haven't seen him lately. But he's got to be excited right now, because I know he's a big Star Wars fanboy. And Max donates $5, says some gold press latinum for your Life Day festivities. Thank you so much. And now, of course, Life Day is canon, by the way. Thanks to The Mandalorian, Life Day is canon. Holy crap. I didn't see that coming, but yeah. But thank you, Max. I truly do appreciate it. What's your opinion about Avalon or Star Trek Continues? I'll tell you, Cedric, here's the thing. The fan films, I think, come from a great place of the heart, but most of them, I just, honestly, I cringe to watch them because the acting is so bad. You know, a lot of these fan films, they go through, like, they make these incredible sets, right, that look as good or better than what we've seen in the actual shows. And then they want to be in it themselves, and they're not actors. They want to direct it themselves, and they're not directors, right? And I get it. It's a fan film, but it makes me cringe. But I'll say Axanar was really good. If it wasn't for the people that make Axanar, I would be a huge supporter of what they did. But what they did to Mecha really offends me to the core. But but what they produced was really good. Carlos says, fun to do when bored for some. I guess so, but... And Nightbreeze puts a buck in, jerky for Auntie, and all hail the Hypno. Well, Auntie's asleep right now, so I'm not going to wake her up. Let's see. Well, I guess she's kind of awake. I don't have jerky handy, but I do have a treat here for her. Hey, Auntie, I don't know if you want a treat or not, but here. Here you go. You want that? All right. You can just sit there and look sad if you want. You got all your bones sitting there, but that's a good one. I know you like it. I mean, you're probably just tired, aren't you? All right. Yeah, I know it's a lot of hard work sitting there lying in bed all day. But let's bring up... Ooh, the Hypno Turd's going to be difficult because we have...
I see what this is.
Let's see.
Fine. I will sing both.
And can we turn on that? All hail the Hypno Turd. You must love the Hypno Turd. The Hypno Turd is life. The Hypno Turd is love. The Hypno Turd knows you because the Hypno Turd is you. Bow down to the Hypno Turd. Give all you have to the Hypno Turd. All glory to the Hypno Turd. Chuck 95, you are so amazing. That's why. It doesn't make sense to me. Why someone wants to spend that much time and energy just to try and spread pointless hate. That's the thing. It's so pointless. I really, it boggles my mind. And I know we're talking about this person. Maybe that gives them the jollies or something. But to be so pathetic that that's what you have to do to get off, I don't understand it. I really don't. Andrew, no, what I'm saying is that you're not saying not to donate, but you're not saying it. Okay. Well, here's the thing, Roxanne. I like it when people give money. I do. I'm not going to lie. I love it. But this channel, and I know there's some channels, even some friends of mine, that every other word out of their mouth is, hey, don't forget to super chat. Certain people that we've talked about earlier in this very live stream, whose name I will not mention, Ampia, will only read your comment if you super chat, right? And I find that kind of thing, well, I'm not going to do that. Rusty says, am I the only one who likes Discovery? I love classic Trek, but I can embrace change. Yes, Rusty, you are the only one. No, you know what? Here's the thing. If you like it, it's a matter of taste. I don't like the fact... But here's the thing. I am very much into continuity and canon, and Discovery craps all over that. That's my biggest problem with Discovery. Not that, granted, I also don't think that Michael Burnham is a very well-written character, and it has other problems, but the fact that they knowingly and purposely crap all over the canon really bugs me. How about the feminist Star Wars fans hate Life Day? I wonder. Do you mean fan films come on faith from the faith of the heart? Oh, jeez. Josh says you need to do a reaction to the Star Wars Holiday Special. I can't because here's the thing. You guys know I have a rule about that. I don't review things that I don't own a legit copy of, as far as like showing clips and stuff like that. And the Holiday Special has been wiped from the public theater. There's no legit way to get it. You're a good channel, and because you're good nature, I think they're trying to get a ride out of you. You're probably right, but the thing is that it's not like, oh no, someone was mean to me, I quit YouTube. That's not me. Good luck with that. It seems like the slow chat is working because the person's like, I assume. I haven't seen anything pop up lately, so that's good. Quick, somebody get Cinnabon a stiff drink and a big dose of disco. Oh, Cinnabon not doing well? I didn't see what he said. Cinnamon says, the spammer made me love Star Wars and look forward to Disco Season 3. Oh, no. Oh, we need to help Cinnabon. Oh, Cinnabon, when you stream later, everybody's going to have to support you. Tim says, Star Trek Continues was different than most fan films. Vic got the mannerisms of Shatner as Kirk down. His voice was the only problem. Chris Doohan taking his dad's role was epic. There were some... Here's the thing. in some ways, yeah. In some ways, there were some of the story choices they made and stuff that I didn't like. But here's the thing: if you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's fine. But Andrew, you have to share what the accent our folks did to Mecca. I'm not going to get into that dirt. Just to say that it was wrong, and I'm not going to dig it up because Mecca is a personal friend of mine, and if she wants to talk about it, she can. But I know that it personally bothered her a great deal, and I'm not going to drag that through the mud anymore. Chrono says, "I don't buy into your tricks, anti-tricker." Yes, you got me. DeForest Kelly's son or grandson played Bones in New Voyagers. I didn't know that. Chrono says, "What is your boggle?" I don't play Boggle because I can't spell with a darn, being dyslexic. Gotta go, dude. All right, Chris. Or Tim. Chris. I saw Christ and I said Chris. Tim, have a good one, my friend. It was Tom Cruise, A-Trigger, because of what you said the other day. Oh, that must be it. Tom Cruise, I pissed him off. Sorry about your cough. Yeah, I know. It's tough sometimes. Doctor says I'm suffering from campiitis. Yes, anybody who does disruptive things and thrives on reactions, just like wanna-bullies and class clowns. Well, wanna-bullies, I think, is the best term for it, because they don't have the bravery to be a real bully because they get their ass kicked, because, they couldn't actually confront somebody, so they have to hide behind a computer keyboard to do it. Let's hope the spammer gets carpal tunnel syndrome for his efforts. I just say, that person just needs to get a life. Well, Discovery has started on terrestrial analog TV here. I'm sorry. I actually, here's the thing. I don't like Discovery, but again, if you like it, well, there might be something wrong with you, but you can still be my friend. I'm sorry for all the shiny visual lovers, but there's a script threshold I can't pass. Whoa, and their chat jumped on me. Sorry, Luke. All right, I'm sorry for all the shiny visuals lovers, but there's a script threshold I can't pass that makes me ignore Discovery altogether.
Hello, world.
There's a script threshold. Oh, I can't. When you say there, I thought you meant there's a script for threshold. And Cedric puts $5 in and says, will they now explore the Delta Quadrant now that the Dominion is put down? That could be, I think that could be an interesting show. They could do a show about like a probe vessel going out into the Delta Quadrant now that the Dominion's gone and finding all sorts of new things. The problem is that the Dominion is not really gone. They were just beaten in the Alpha Quadrant. It's not like they're just vanished. There's, my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't watched the finale of Deep Space Nine in a while, but the Dominion wasn't wiped out. They were just stopped from going through the wormhole. So they're still out there. So I don't know. I wish I had thought of this sooner, but the nerd community should always have done a commentary track for The Force Awakens and Last Jedi. It could have been great fun. You're right. I must be the only one who liked Enterprise. Actually, no, I liked Enterprise. I think the first 2 seasons were slow, but interesting. I think season 3 and 4 were pretty good. Season 4 especially was awesome. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to save the show. The ratings had already tanked. That is, Discovery's too evolved for me. One must be a space salamander to enjoy it. Yes, that's okay. Now I'm getting you, Luke. I think that a space salamander can definitely enjoy Threshold, or enjoy Discovery. But Discovery, yeah, I understand. It doesn't feel like Trek to me, and to me it's too dark. It craps on canon, and let's be real, Michael Burnham is a freaking Mary Sue, and I don't like Mary Sue characters. But Cedric, I am curious to see if they do something with the Delta Quadrant, but honestly, I think Picard is going to deal mostly with the aftermath of the Romulan collapse. Is Campitis easier than Shrevitis? Yes, Shrevitis is much easier to deal with than Campitis. Well, I didn't get to watch. I didn't watch a second time. The first time, perhaps I'll get Warner to disco a second watch. Good luck. Ethical Ramming Edgetrigger, Gamma Quadrant. Day disco died. All right. Well, Gamma Quadrant, we haven't really done much in the Gamma Quadrant, so why not? Technical Dominion, and why are you saying the day disco died? I didn't see you put in. Did you put in a super chat? You know what? A couple people put in super chats and didn't ask for anything, so I could use a little pick me up here. But let's look at disco dying. right, so let's see. Tentacle says Dominion surrendered, so the founders keep their word. Then it shouldn't be a problem. Did they? I didn't remember them surrendering, but if so, fair enough. Peter says too generally dark disco intro. DS9 did darker better, but not as frequently. Well, here's the thing. DS9 was actually not really a dark show. DS9 was an optimistic show during a dark time. There's a difference. It's like, and this is something people don't get, like what went wrong with Man of Steel, the movie, is Superman is not a dark character. Never. But you can put Superman in a dark time, right? So if Superman is involved in a time where things bad are happening, but Superman is still Superman. He's still an optimist. He still is looking to, be the hero and all that. Cisco lost faith once in that show, right? You all know the episode. But he regained it, and he still fights for Federation ideals and principles. He still believes in Federation ideals and principles. And at the end of the show, the Federation ideals and principles won the day. And even won over some other people, like Quark and his root beer analogy and stuff like that. The Deep Space Nine is actually not a dark show. It was just set during a dark time. Imagine Discovery set in the future and Janeway help make the spore drive to rescue ships that end up like Voyager. That would make more sense. Does Odo run the Dominion now? Man, I haven't watched DS9 in a while. I'm going to have to catch up. We need to convince Bird of Prey to do a commentary track for last. Oh, that would be freaking epic. Bird of Prey doing a commentary track for just about anything would be awesome. Can we get some James Bond? Need to see some Lord dancing for some reason. I'll tell you what, I'll play some James Bond in a couple of minutes here when I'm going to wrap up in just a minute. Rock Solid says, Cisco lost faith of the soul. Well, he actually lost faith of the heart, but yeah. And Darren says, I'd say DS9 was more colorful, not darker. I agree with that. I hate the slow-mo. It tells me I have to wait 30 seconds before I can comment, and that means I got to count 30 Mississippis each time. I'm sorry. Necessary Evil. We'll turn it off next live stream, because hopefully that douche will not be back. Keep our fingers crossed. Well, at least now I know where it is, so I can turn it on and off. Odo rejoined the Founders, so in a sense he does take part in the Dominion rule. Well, then it could, then it might be safe to go to the Gamma Quadrant. Enter the next. Oh yeah, I said Delta Quadrant. That's why I said Gamma Quadrant. Yeah, I said Delta Quadrant before. Idiot. Enter next line in the song was about faith of the soul. I know. Discovery actually takes place in the past of fluidic space, hence the spore drive. See, I didn't know that. The deal with the Dominion surrendered. The female founder was to stand trial for war crimes. Odo went back to the Great Link to cure the rest of the founders, so Odo runs the Dominion. Well, we know Odo's a part of it, but hopefully, I think there could be some interesting follow-up there. What's going on? Because the Jem'Hadar is still out there. What's truly going on? When the Dominion began to infiltrate Earth, Cisco began to lose faith when he witnessed what Starfleet began to become. Well, you see, here's the thing. Cisco still believed in the Federation ideals, but he was concerned about the infiltration going on. Of course, eventually it got taken care of. So, yeah. No, Cisco did dance the pale moonlight like all his prey. Nicely said, Cedric. Nicely said. Yes, Cisco did dance in the pale moonlight. And that was, here's the thing. A lot of people love that episode. I think it's a really good episode. I think it's a little overrated, but I do really like that episode. But the thing is that was Cisco's rock bottom, was pale moonlight. Now, because he was willing to go there, because he did compromise, he was able to get the Romulans involved in the war, and that may have ultimately saved the Alpha Quadrant. But that's something that you get the feeling will always haunt him, that he broke his principles. However, after that, he regained his principles, and that's why I think Deep Space Nine is ultimately an optimistic show. Red says, I think DS9 is the best of the Trek series, just my opinion. I put DS9 in a solid second place, right behind the original series. It's true. Short Trek is just. Is it true? Short Trek is doing cartoons now. Terry, I stopped watching them. Trouble with Edward was just that stupid. Oh yeah, You thought Trouble with Edward was stupid. Who? Watch Ephraim and Dot. Holy crap! And then they show Michael Burnham is an African queen reincarnated, apparently. What do you think of the Jem'Hadar would be in, like in an altruistic Odo run Dominion? That's a good question. Would they, first of all, would they get rid of their dependence on Ketracel White? And, the Jem'Hadar could be like the ultimate, homes for, what's the Jimmy Carter thing called? The Habitat for Humanity. Imagine the Jem'Hadar running around building shelters and helping people and all that. That could actually be quite the force for good. You should listen to Rusty Wilson. Why? Because Rusty likes Deep Space Nine best? Shut up. Have a great day, Ed Trigger, and everyone. All right, Night Breeze, you take care. Sci-Fi Nation says, great streams always, but live long in alpaca. Absolutely. All right, guys, so I am going to wrap it up here. Thanks for hanging out, especially considering we had that complete douchebag show up. But in the meantime, let's have a little James Bond action, because we haven't watched any James Bond in a while. Now I got to remember which one James Bond is, because I can never remember it. For those of you that don't know, James Bond, there's a new James Bond movie coming. But a lot of people don't realize that, they were all worried about, they're changing 007 to a black woman and all that. But the thing is, people aren't even missing. There is a new James Bond, but it's not what people thought. And so the new James Bond was revealed in this trailer, and for some reason, nobody saw it. So I'm going to show it to you guys right now. You will see the new James Bond.
I may have a shit. It's not clean. Repeat, I do not have a clean shit. Take the bloody shit.
That's right. I'm announcing it right now. I am playing the new James Bond. And like every great James Bond movie, there will, of course, be a James Bond girl. We are bringing that tradition back. And, of course, you're seeing her silhouette right there. The new James Bond girl, Laura Reloaded. Ah, yes. So see, that's the true new James Bond that's coming soon. Views is, well, yeah, the views always drop a little bit when a super chat's playing because people think, oh, the show's over, run away. But actually, more people than usual stuck their way through that one because I think that they found the new James Bond girl to be strangely alluring in some kind of bizarre, sick, twisted way. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for being the best damn crowd on YouTube, especially considering that we had that douchebag earlier. I do appreciate you guys sticking with me. Bird of Prey 5 would be the best. Oh, man. We need to get Bird of Prey 5 to dance for a James Bond thing. I think I'm going to have to work on that. The gun tips touching. I'm glad you caught that, Surf. Yes, the gun tips touching is, yeah, that's a thing. Take care. And Mexican Iron Man decided to stop me from running the credits, put $4.99, and Rock Solid puts in $1. See, Rock Solid, you could have saved $1 if you paid attention. But Mexican Iron, oh my God, the fury, the hair man rug that shagged me. I'm officially requesting payment for my therapy. The hair man rug that shagged me. I love that. Should be the name of the movie. Oh man, Rock Solid wants number 17, of course. So if that wasn't enough of Sexy Lore Reloaded, well, hey, you know, he is for hire. And so just so you know, if you find yourself watching that James Bond video and you're fantasizing about Lore Reloaded, well, fantasize some more. All you need, got a few bucks in your pocket, look outside. You just might find...
Hey, you want to learn about Jesus?
There's no such thing as hooker-client confidentiality.
Ah, good old Lore. So thank you, Rock Solid. And of course, Mexican Iron Man, if you want to see something, let me know, my friend, and I'll play it real quick. The new James Bond movie starring Berta Prey 5 as Bond and Frank and Freddie as the Bond girls. That would be awesome. Kind of like Bambi and Thumper, and I can't remember which one that was, but I think that was Diamonds Are Forever. Would it be the Ewok who shagged me? Yes. And Shomer's singing, welcome to the Hotel Anti-Trekker. You can end the stream anytime you want, but you can never leave. Well, that's true, because I'm a sucker for money. And, you know, I'm easily bribed. You're going to be busy, it seems, says Kronos. Bird needs to sing an Xmas song. Well, he did. We at the beginning of the live stream, you missed it, Uncle Remus. Bird is actually, yeah, it actually did sing. Who filmed Lore Walking Drag? Actually, I did. If you listen carefully when that plays, listen very carefully. Just as he walks by the camera, you can hear me going, oh. So I'll play it again. Listen very, very carefully. Just as Lore walks past the camera, you can hear me. You hear it? Yes, that is me. Lore Reloaded is the Hobbit, Anti-Trigger is the Smurf that spawned him. No. Roxo says, it's the Hobbit, Anti-Trigger is the Hobbit, Lore is the Ewok. No. You're just a head on a tip jar, drowning in money. I wish I was drowning in money. That would be freaking awesome. Kron says, here what? Well, okay, so when that played, just as Lore walked past the camera, you could hear me going, oh. So that was actually me, well, because I was holding the camera. And it was just like, oh, yeah. All right, guys. So since it doesn't seem that Mexican Iron Man wants anything in particular, so with that, we are going to wrap it up again. Take care, everybody, and thanks again. Thank you all of you that chipped in. I do appreciate it, even though I know that, you know, that douchebag kind of derailed things a little bit. But you guys helped me hold it together. I do appreciate it. And take care, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh yeah, and go to DJ Odyssey tonight. I guess he's streaming, and he desperately needs more than 3 people to watch.
You son of a bitch, Anti-Tracker! You son of a bitch, Anti-Tracker!